Greetings. This is Robert Ford going over the Intracoastal Waterway. The biblical creation is a flat, non-moving earth. The sun, moon, and stars and clouds, that's moving. The cars are moving. People are moving. There's movement all over, just not the earth. A marble on a level concrete slab wouldn't work on a spinning, wobbling, gyrating globe. Neither would a friendly game of billiards wouldn't work on a spinning, wobbling, oblate spheroid. None of that would. So here's what I have for you today. I've got a lot of content that I'll be posting up on YouTube in a little bit. And it shows the contrast between the rough water, the waves coming in, and the perfectly flat, undisturbed level water and tidal pools in front of $1 million structures, millions and millions of dollars, billions and billions of years of evolution. No, we didn't evolve. Hey, I want to show you something. There used to be a water tower there. That's the development going in. They moved in a bunch of large trees with equipment, and it's pretty amazing. This is the new hotel for people getting medical treatment. Yeah, it's all kind of interesting. They had a designer, is what they had, and then a creator. People work together to create it. The world that we live in isn't a godless cosmic big sneeze. It's just not what it is. God created this. I believe the God of the Bible created this. And what I want to do is capture imagery and videography that engages hearts and minds. People come from all over the world to look at the beauty here. And they're doing flat earth research whether they realize it or not. I want to help people realize what they're seeing. The water seeks its level, covers the face of the earth, and it doesn't it doesn't conform to a ball at all, ever. When a tennis ball has water and dog spit and sand on it, and it's thrown and hits the sand, it all goes flying off. It's going a couple miles an hour. Here's the big deal. A lot of people that say they love Jesus and they're all excited about going to lunch afterwards, and after they toss some money into the coffers of the 501c3 tax-exempt status muzzled church. They're not going to talk about the actual conspiracies. That was by design. I don't ask for money. I don't have a tax-exempt status. I do have my P900 for sale, and I'll be getting the P1000. What I want to tell you, too, is that we gave our son David a wallet with a good amount of money in it. He was going to take the wallet back because he liked a different style. Joni said, "Did you open it up?" He said, "No." And she said, "Well, there's money in there." Like $100. Here's the point that I'm wanting to tell you. The Eternal Perspective playlist that has the audio Bible merged with the beauty of creation shows a lot of the views of the sun moving across the beach with the water interrupting sometimes the beam of light and sometimes continuing the beam of light. That was done by design. That was done with intent. My photography and videography is very deliberate. I love what I do. That's why I click the love. I love it. I love the world that God created that I get to live in and share His word to the ends of the earth around the clock, basically exposing the reality of the world that we actually live in. A lot of people are basing their eternal perspective on a lie, and they perceive it to be the truth. By irony and paradox, the deceived do not know that they're deceived. With pride as a powerful catalyst, they're believing that they know best. They've got a nice car, a lot of digits in their bank account, maybe a trophy partner that they get to spend time with, and they're deceived. Oh well. Oh well. They may even have academic credentials / indoctrination. That's what a lot of people have, is a high level of indoctrination, and they're also very concerned about the potential of losing that that cash cow that they have, that job that they have, doing whatever they do if they step out of line. What will they do without health insurance if they get the big C, cancer? Well, how about living life in such a way that you make choices that you aren't sticking stuff in your body that's going to turn into cancer? Or how about not putting stuff in your body that feeds cancer? How about that? So you can basically tell the truth. That's what I do. I tell the truth, and I'm not afraid to live, die, or quite frankly, tell the truth. That's what you're looking at with me. I've been researching all my life. Yeah, paying attention. I'm not too poor to pay attention. I've got hundreds of hours of Bible videos, hundreds of hours of me talking about stuff. You might find it interesting because I don't know how long I'll be able to do this actually. As long as the Lord allows, I'm not all freaked out that I'm exposing the deeds of darkness. I was created to live at such a time when I would do this. I couldn't even operate a Palm Pilot before I was born again. He gave me His Holy Spirit, and I get to do what He created me to do. So, I've arrived at the at the home here, our where we live. I'm going to show you a couple of things before I end the broadcast. We've had a lot of big storms roll through here, a lot of rain. Recently, they had a pumping machine remove the blockage that was in our storm sewer system. Well, that's a big deal because when we get hurricanes or tropical storms, that could be a big problem. So what I've got here is a view of that area right there. From on the other side of the big puddle that was there, you can see this car looking like it's, well, you can see it. It's on the photo album. But that water would clearly, in a hurricane, we would have flooding in our house. I'm going to show you a couple of things. The impossibility of the still, calm water. Here, there's a gentle breeze. You can see it. Now from this angle we can see the ripples a little bit better in the breeze that's around. The condensation varies on the bottle placement because of air currents. Some have more air flow than others. It's highly purified carbon filtered water, and I like it in the sun. That's a system of purification that God put into this world. There's all right. So here's what happened. I forgot to turn my Wi-Fi off on my way rolling in. What happens is the system tries to reconnect on my Wi-Fi, and I lose my broadcast. I need to remember that. Okay, so I'm gonna put this up here and show you a little something. Okay, here's the water jug that I got recently. It's a new one. It's hard to get these. They typically are sold with a what would I call it? Organic apple juice in there, or apple cider, and they're beautiful. I'm going to try and set this up here so you can see it. It's in a lot of my photography in a lot of different places. We have a firmament above us. The round container, the water fills the container and obviously doesn't conform to the, well, it flattens out. In the middle you can see the flat spot. That's just what it does. It's what it does all over the face of the earth. Another impossibility would be wind chimes, long hair, toilet paper. Toilet paper, toilet water, all of it. Wind chimes. None of this would work on a spinning, wobbling, gyrating globe. It's just what it is. Well, it's the way it is. The Earth doesn't move. So what I'm going to show you here is the climate control system that's, because of a temperature differential, is causing this little bit of water to drip out of the atmosphere in the house. That's how that works. The water behind our house now has a little snapping turtle that I picked up off of the road just where I was, because he was going to turn into roadkill. Oh, looks like we've got some bullfrogs. I hear them at night. Sometimes they jump on out there. A lot of dragonflies here. The water is clean. It was probably a foot higher with all the rain that we had. That changes all the elevation and the reflections that we're able to see, because it actually covers up all that greenery that's in there. A fella could eat that if he was really hungry. No telling when the supply chain's going to go down. If we lose electricity, we lose our food distribution and processing, and the artificial intelligence that's ubiquitous. It's all over us. I'm using it right now to broadcast this this little live broadcast here. I'll convert it to a YouTube broadcast. Kind of interesting with the sound bouncing around there. We've got cell towers all over the place. One there, and then one over here, and they're all over. I'm not freaked out about it. I don't have a tinfoil hat. I'm not a crazy guy. I'm a guy that's fed up with being lied to, and I decided to do something about it. So I'm exposing it and broadcasting the Word of God to the ends of the earth around the clock. So when people are behind me, sometimes I'll glance up in the mirror. I can read their lips saying, YouTube, eternal perspective. Good. That's what it's about. The eternal perspective is actually the biblical perspective. What I got going on here, though, is the reality that I'm exposing a whole lot more. Bible.com is not my website. However, people can learn a whole lot about a lot of things on there. It's not just my own talking. Sometimes, like today, just I posted some videos recently where I'm not talking at all. How about that? Isn't that special? And there's also the mute button. If you want to see what I've captured and shared, you can do that too. Okay, so the footprints, they're vanishing right in front of us because of the temperature differential. How much does a gallon of water weigh? Well, that depends. Depends on the temperature. The volume and density changes. The water basically exposes the global lie. So does reality. So does the Bible. They work in concert. For people that say, I don't want your fairy tale Jesus, it's okay. All right, consider this. The Bible is true, and your scientific priests that you're clinging to, the godless cosmic Big Bang, so you can do your own thing with whoever you want, you're going to end up in hell if that's what you hold to. You're going to be deceived, and God is going to make sure of that. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 says to all of creation forever, they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion. So Satan will use who and what he can. God uses it all, including Satan, the fallen angels, and he uses everything and everybody for his purposes. Yeah, thanks so much for your liking, sharing, and all of that. Your public and private encouragement, and for unfriending me. If you're somebody that doesn't like what I got going on and you decide to make room for people that do, that's cool too. I typically don't unfriend people that disagree. It's just that if they're obnoxious and calling me deceived, I'll just let them go. I had to let a couple of people go because I'm tired of it. I would rather make room for people that want to be connected. So it isn't that I'm having a temper tantrum. I want the efforts that I have to have maximum benefit. I don't have anybody blocked right now. I don't have to block people. I just unfriend them and tighten up my security on my profile so that only friends can comment. I'll let them make some negative comments. I'll even leave them up there sometimes, depending on what they are. It's gotten a little complicated on YouTube, and you should know that. There are comments that I don't agree with that I've left up there, and at some point I may take those down too. What I do say is you can contact me anytime. I'm going to display differences in density and mass right before your eyes. There you go. My business card floating on the water. How about that? Yeah. It's just the differences of density and mass. Water is more dense and supports lighter objects, less density. That's how that works. You can contact me anytime. Now, I don't know if these people have YouTube, but they could go to my channel. A lot of waving inside there. Nice shadow wave there for you. I show a lot of people on my broadcast too. Whoops. The shadow people are like on the beach. I believe I had a video blocked in this country because I was blowing bubbles at an amusement park at Broadway at the beach. People saw my shirt, and I believe they complained that their children were in it. Well, quite frankly, there are people in videos all over the world. The cameras are ubiquitous. I'm not a pedophile. You can even search my name if you want to. I have no convictions of anything like that. That's not how I roll. Back to the shadow people. You can see silhouettes of obvious people on the beach without showing their identity, putting them at risk or whatever. So, hey, thanks so much for your public and private support. This is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel, Eternal Perspective.